And we are live. Welcome, everyone. ChatGDG episode number 38 with yet another fantastic guest, Matteo. Hello, Matteo.
Hi, everyone. I'm very glad to be here.
Thank you so very much for making the time to be here with us. I know you are a very busy boy. We will dive into all of your activities in a second. So, how we often do here, instead of me babbling for 30 minutes and listing all the things that you do and you have done, why don't you introduce yourself to the people that may not know you already?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Matteo Collina. I am Platformatic co-founder and CTO. Platformatic is a relatively new startup trying to help you do Node.js at scale. Now, what else I've done? I am the person that one of the few people that can say that you are using his software even if you really don't want to. Okay, like I'm close to probably 1%, close to 100% of the worldwide internet connected population in usage. Okay, somebody somewhere is using software that I've written. I have something like 30 billion downloads on npm per year, which
30 billions.
billions.
My God.
And which total more or less about 1% of the npm traffic. So that's more or less my, a few will say that there are probably it's a bad thing or it's a good thing. It depends. Like there are a few individuals. There are some individuals that are more downloads than me. So to be frank, but it's still like it's I am in the top, I don't know, 30, 40, something like that. It's there are a lot of people with a lot of downloads out there. Okay, but very we know everybody know each other at this point. So
yeah, it's a very small world, right?
It's a very small group of people. Yeah. And we're all in the same boat, to be honest. How much money do I make from all those modules? Well, I cannot say zero, but probably a rounding error of 0 per month. Okay. I can probably pay a nice dinner every month via GitHub sponsors. Okay. So no, I frankly,
you do that for passion.
Yeah, essentially. So I maintain a lot is a passion, and I do it for the community. Okay. Also, all of that enabled me to do my startup. So I'm very glad that I was able to do my startup, and also because I have this much of a footprint in the community, which very happy about how everything is going. So apart from that, this is more or less. I have a PhD. I have that I've done a long time ago at this point. I finished. Then I'm also a member of the Node.js Technical Steering Committee, technically vice chair, if that's a role. Then I sit on the board of the OpenJS Foundation, which means I review budgets. Okay. Which it's what it is. The OpenJS Foundation is the foundation that is the house of Node.js, ESLint, Webpack, Electron. I don't know. You probably know those names, guys, that you're watching. So, yeah.
Busy boy. So the first question before diving into your experience is like, where do you find the time to do all these things?
So I also have a daughter.
Okay.
Of 4, that just got 4 years old. So,
wow. Okay.
Which I said before I did my daughter, I had more time. Okay. So he was able to produce a lot more modules than now I'm mostly maintaining them. This is, affecting life. Okay. The biggest point of the first thing related to open source, there is open source that is my job, okay, which is related to growing Platformatic and making sure Platformatic is successful as a company. Okay, we also have our open source stuff, our open source modules, our products. Some of our products are open source, so pretty good. Okay, that's the job. Okay, and therefore it provides a certain level. If you open an issue on Platformatic, I tend to respond very quickly. Okay. If you open a pull request or an issue on my on some of my of the rest of the open source that I happen to maintain or not maintain, if it's not my bug, it's not my bug. Okay, I call it very simple. It's your bug. It's not my bug. It's your bug on my library. Like if you can't do what you want to do on my library, it's your bug. It's not my bug. Okay, and therefore, if you want it fixed, well, you got to fix it. Okay, there's no responsibility there. You got to fix it. Own it. Okay, you send me a PR, I'll go through all the PRs. Okay, I do all of them. Okay, so every single time I got an issue, I have canned message for asking for a reproduction. After this reproduction, I have a canned message to ask for a pull request. Basically, those two are my, I call them, il aglio e paletto di frassi, which in Italian, okay, is the two things that you use to kill vampires. Okay? Yeah. So you put garlic around your house to keep the vampires out, but then if you meet one, you need to have some hood to pierce their heart.
Stick. Yes,
the hood stick to pierce their heart. Okay. It's very important. Okay, like you can't, like the biggest thing about open source is you cannot have your blood suck out from you. The first more important thing is you should not never burn out. Okay, so the most important person in open source is you. I learned this the hard way. Okay, so the most important person is you. So you need to make sure that all your base core things are ticked. And then you can do open source as much as you do for all the other volunteering that you can do in life if you want to. Okay. So that's essentially it. It's so that's the bit how you do it. Well, first of all, mostly I act as a coordinator. I help out and so on and so forth. I do a lot of this kind of work. And I work long hours anyway, so it's I tend to do a lot of that triaging and so on from my phone, to be honest. So I tend to take 5 minutes here and there to do a lot of that triaging. Consider that I get maybe 100 notifications a day on GitHub. So if they say that you as a shark needs to swim to live. Okay. And I need to take the GitHub notifications to live. Okay. If I don't, they start to pile up. Okay. It settles eventually. Okay. Because, it's not new issues, 100 new issues every day. Okay. So it settles eventually between 600 and 700 after a few weeks, but you really don't want to go back to that pile of mountain. Okay.
Yeah.
I really don't want to.
It's not nice. It's better to tackle them on a daily basis as much as possible, I guess. But how did you start actually? So at some point throughout your career, you said, okay, there is this open source thing. Let me find out more. I'm really curious about the starting point.
Okay. Let's go through that step by step, okay? Yep. Because otherwise, things you might find them not very. I don't know. It might be a big overnight success, right? The big Matteo Collina that it's overnight become one of the people running one of the most used open source projects of all time. Okay, this is more or less the overnight success, right? Story. So, okay, let's go through the steps. So first of all, I was working for an Italian company. I was doing some Java, okay, and I almost dropped out of tech because I didn't feel I would be able to grow my career in that job. I want to do an MBA. Okay, I thought this is useless. Okay, like I'm not never going to reach the goals that I want to reach in this position. Okay, this was sad for me, but it's true. Okay, it might be. It was also probably my perception of that path I was in. Okay, but I did a lot of interviews. I failed all of them, so things were not looking good. Then I went back to uni and started doing my PhD, mostly because I wanted to experiment, study, build new tech, and so on and so forth. Now, most universities are really okay with releasing the stuff that you do as open source. So that's more or less what I've done. Okay, I've released a lot of the stuff that I was doing as open source. But more importantly, when I was doing my PhD, I realized that I needed Node.js, that I need a new technology. I need a technology to build my research that will able to help me prototype really fast. But it was fast. It couldn't support a lot of connections at the same time. That more or less at the time it was 2010, and basically that created this kind of sweet spot for Node.js. Okay, which Node.js at the time, now there's a lot more high-level APIs, but Node.js at the time it was essentially a JavaScript wrapper over C APIs. Okay, which more or less got me exactly what I wanted, and I could develop things very fast, prototypes very fast, way faster than I could have done them in C or in Java. So and having not the best performance, but good enough performance. Okay, so that was my point. During those 3 years that I've done my PhD, 3 years and a half, I created and started maintaining some libraries in my space, did a lot of work. Okay, eventually, okay, I got a lot of experience on Node.js. So, and that was what prompted me to, start maintaining a lot of npm modules, mostly because I didn't find stuff that was well done or stuff that I would want to use. So I started then creating a lot of npm modules, a lot of small things, a lot of prototypes, a lot of experiments, a lot of tiny bits, lots of it. Okay. And that's it, essentially. That's what happened. Okay. And I really liked this fact. And and then in a bit, I started, after a while, I started finishing my PhD, went working for Nearform, which funded some of my time doing Node.js and some other time doing Fastify, which was fantastic. Okay. And they funded me, so everything was very good. And we did the rest kind of it's history, because those things take off, and there was some link to the marketing and developer relations that we were doing at the company at Nearform, and with what I was doing, and that was really great. So I'm very grateful of the chance. Then at some point I got a few things changed in my life, big life events, nothing related to Nearform. I decided that I really wanted to start my own thing, and then I left, and I really wanted to. Okay, it was very much. I'm thankful to Nearform for all the things that they've done. I've done possible all roles at Nearform at that point, and that's it essentially. And then we are Platformatic. So finger crossed, this is going somewhere. It's
Well,
if you need any help with Node.js, contact us. We have a good product that we can probably help you.
so the overnight success took a few years, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like often.
Yeah, like I love it when I meet somebody that tend to lecture me on how Node and npm works.
That's fun, I guess.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, especially during interviews. Like when I got like somebody that's not following the project that claims to know how Node.js work, those are fantastic.
Yes. How many interviews did you run?
When I was at Nearform,
Mhm.
oh,
A lot.
An humongous amount. Humongous. Okay. I would say on busy periods, 5 or 6 per week. One a day.
Wow. Yeah, wow. It's, a lot, especially for extensive period of times.
Yeah, but that was not all the year. But
No, of course.
yeah, I would do probably like quite a lot of interviews.
Did ever happen to you that during one of these interviews, you were quote unquote, arguing with someone, and the argument was like with you saying, "I've created that thing." That kind of feel where as
No,
so,
usually I don't do that.
Mhm,
My generic argument, I am always assertive of what the candidate is saying, and
mm.
therefore, if the candidate is saying bullshit, I feed into it in a
I
pure
see.
Socratic manner. Okay,
Interesting. Okay.
up until the point that I can ask a final question, and I keep asking this kind of question that should prove that should be obvious that the thesis is absolutely incorrect.
Mm,
Okay, that's it.
okay, interesting. So your experience, especially, you mentioned Nearform. You've been at that company for like 8 years, 8
8
plus
years and a
years.
half. Yeah.
Years and a half. She's a really, really long time. So sorry, just Patti, two of my favorite
No, hi,
Italians.
Patty.
Great to know is planning good people. Love you, Patti. Love you, Patti. She's incredible. Incredible. I've been at DEF Scotland 2 weeks back. It was
Oh,
a lot of
nice.
fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. So you've been, as I said, near for like more than 8 years. It's
Yeah.
been a long time. You went through different job titles, different ranks. I think your last job title was chief architect, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken. Was pretty cool. So that experience really, I think, helped you and cemented your maybe, I don't know, knowledge. I mean, taught you quite a few things, I would imagine.
I don't know. Like, yes,
Mm.
of course. Like, I grow up. That's what it is.
Yeah, especially was a consultant
It
job,
was a
right?
consultancy company. So I really enjoyed it. I love consultancy. I love helping others. I also love doing product, to be honest. So I really love doing, it's just a different way of helping others. So it's different, but in other way, it's both simpler and harder than consultancy at the same time. It's
Mm,
simpler because it's way more clear how you would make money. Okay, it's harder because it's either your product that you need to define your message for your product in a much tighter way than with consultancy.
interesting. Yeah. Very, very interesting point. And then also, I'm curious, as you said, at some point after few years that company, something changed, and you really had this. You really wanted to do something yours, I
Yes.
guess, right?
Yes.
So there was that moment in time where you say, "I've done this, I've done that, ticked quite a few boxes. I want to do something which is mine."
Yes.
Interesting. How was the transition before? Sorry, we always Patty first. When Patty writes a message, I always give her priority. Matteo, have you seen a rise of AI generated PRs? How do you deal with them? Very interesting.
I call it AI generated bullshit or spam. There is a lot, to be honest. Frankly, it's disgusting. Okay, I don't even understand why people would do this. Okay, why would they do those things? Okay, one thing is to doing using something that augment your skills, so that can amplify what you can do. But be careful that what the amplify is bad, the amplify was there. Okay, so if you're not very much skilled, AI right now will will help you generate not that much good code. Okay, if you are very proficient, well, maybe the AI can help you write code more quickly, because you can spot the mistakes of the AI super fast, which is probably what these kind of tools are built for, right? This current generation, at least.
Yeah, very very good point. People and they think that even if you are not good, AI can make you good, which is not exactly the case. If you don't have a good baseline, a good foundation, can do more harm than good. So get back to the basis, people. which is very important. So get back to the main question, because I'm personally very interested about when you switch and you said, I want something mine.
Yep.
Cool. So first thing first, I think that how was the founding your co-founder, if that makes sense?
Oh, we worked together in
Luca,
Nearform years before, and we always wanted to do something together. And we had more or less a very tight. We had an idea, okay, and we were able with the core of that idea to go to some VC that they funded us, and then we had a company.
Interesting. So something that you wanted to do, clearly you knew, each other, and at some point, both of you felt this is the right moment.
Yeah, it stars aligned.
Stars aligned.
It was supposed to be the three of us, but then we were two.
Okay. Plot twist.
Plot twist. Yeah. There was.
And how is the relationship between?
Oh, we're fun. We fight all the time, so it's perfect.
Okay, nice. The good healthy conflict.
No, it's not true. We have a lot of fun. We do a lot of things together, so it's very good. My co-founder Luca lives in Vancouver, so we see each other every few months.
Yeah, Vancouver. True, he's in Canada.
Yeah,
interesting. How do you deal with the time zone difference?
I finish working late. He starts working early.
Okay, so you tried to bridge the gap as much as possible. Okay, interesting. And how did you pick what roles? Because I know you are the CTO, he's the CEO. That has always been clear among you?
Yeah, absolutely. First reason, he is in the right time zone for being the CEO.
Close to the US.
Clearly. Yes. In order to run a company in tech, you have a lot of things to do in US time zones. So unless you want to be miserable and spend all your evening working, you need to, and I don't know, talk to the tax accountant, talk to the lawyers, talk to everybody. Then you have to, essentially.
Very good point, actually.
So there's not much to be said there. Now, I necessarily don't know of if anybody we could have switched, but so far I'm very happy.
Yeah, if it works for you, happy days, like they said. Interesting. So, and then how do you split the work? I guess, amongst you? You are more on the technical side, but I mean, what type of the CTO? You're a CTO of a startup, so you are. I mean, hands-on, I guess. So what's the split
I
between
have a full
hands-on
load
and
of an
sales?
individual contributor plus a full load as a manager.
Perfect. I mean, everyone's favorite.
Everyone's favorite thing. I don't know if you love it
Uh,
or not, but yeah, basically full load and full load.
Wow. Okay. How big? Let's talk a little bit more about Platformatic. So, how big is the company now?
We are 13,
Okay. Nice. Getting there.
divided between Europe and Canada.
What's the split? You've got some software and engineers, I guess.
Yeah, but we have both sides. Essentially, we have 4 people in Canada, and a few in Italy, 2 in the UK, 1 in Poland.
Okay. So that's and then the structure is like you line manage these people, or
Mm.
they
Calling it
don't.
line management
Yeah.
is probably making it something that's absolutely not. Okay.
Mhm.
I basically give them impossible tasks and I expect them to overcome the and do the impossible.
Okay. Mission impossible.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Impossible task. But that for a software engineer who's really motivated and really committed, that's I think is cool, right? So they, I mean, thrive in the right environment, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Do you run all the interviews, I guess, right? For the people that you hired?
We don't. We basically are from our connections. So we don't do interviews right now. So I'm missing the days when we were doing interviews for Nearform. That was fun.
Okay, now this is interesting. I did not expect that. I mean, I kind of expect that, but not to the full extent that you said. So all the engineers that you've hired, you hire, I mean, clearly thanks to connections and
Yeah,
network.
typically the path if you want to work for me is you start contributing to open source.
Okay, yeah, of course. That is a big, footprint in terms of
So
you're clearly
if I see somebody that is good from the open source, I get them, and that's it. The only bit where we do interviews are for non-tech roles. That's where it's harder. Okay. But even there, we tend to hire people that we know we have worked with before, essentially.
interesting because it's a safe bet, I guess.
Yes.
Pretty much. You have people from Nearform, besides of course yourself and Luca.
Oh, there is a lot of ex-Nearform in there, Nearform alumni, as they say.
Nice.
Okay. Like, I don't know, a lot of people that left over the years, I was able to hire
Poach
them.
them.
No, I
No,
poached
poach. They left, so fair. Okay,
I poached no one from Nearform.
fair enough.
Okay. And I poached no one from Nearform. They all left by their own accord, typically way before that was a problem. Like,
interesting. And then you see these people that are already left, so they are free, and you can.
well, they're not free most of the time, but they work for somebody else, and then I go and I make them an offer, and they, you're doing your own thing now. Okay, I'm coming back to you. That's what it is.
Yeah, because I mean, throughout your tenure there, you built I would imagine, very solid, relationship
Yeah.
with people. And if you work with someone that you like, you know the person. I mean, clearly that's a big thing in terms of, yeah, I want to come and work with you. She's gonna be challenging and fun.
Well, I typically give people tasks that they cannot solve. So
That's your go-to. You come and work for the impossible man giving you impossible tasks.
yeah.
That should be fun. What was the biggest challenge? So at some point you said, okay, let's go, let's start this company. What was the biggest challenge in order to have that take off?
The biggest challenge is getting developers to getting companies getting sales. Getting
Mm.
sales is probably the biggest challenge of the things. Yeah, I would say that sales is the hardest part, especially because we started in a moment where it's hard.
Yeah, yeah, because you started like 2.5 years back,
Yeah, the last 2 years
roughly.
has been rough, essentially.
Yeah, also was not a great moment in tech in
Yeah,
general.
that's the point. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah, not the best. Interesting. So, but then, given your, I mean, background, I mean, Lucas' background, all the stuff that you've done, that I think that helped you, right? In a way, you have
Oh,
got a
absolutely,
really
absolutely.
big, I mean, background.
Yeah.
So that was really helpful, hopefully. And what do you see for the future, for the next 2-3 years? I know that's very difficult to predict the future, but what would you want to happen? Would you want to scale? Would you want to? What's the deal?
Oh, we want to scale. Like we want to help a lot of companies making their Node.js system awesome. You can use their product. They can use our product. They can use our open source products. They can use our commercial product. It's we can help companies using Node.js deploy, scale, manage, doing all the things that the business needs with Platformatic. So works very well.
Nice one. So just scaling, helping more people, getting more
Yeah,
clients. I mean, that's
yeah,
pretty much the
pretty
job.
much.
In terms of the company in per se, would you want to grow in terms of hire more people and becoming a 20, 50, 100 people company, or
Oh, it will
how do you
happen.
see that?
Like I don't like it will happen 100%. I expect it to. If things go well, I expect it to double in size in 2 years.
Okay, interesting. So just hiring people, getting bigger, clearly, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you need that. How,
Well,
how is your
we need there's work to do. So especially, I don't see too much growing on the technical side. A little bit, but not that
mm.
crazy. But I definitely see a lot of work to be done on, sales, marketing, but also the solution engineering, as they call it.
Solution engineering, like architect, I mean architects / customer engineers, look,
Yeah,
whatever.
customer engineers. So basically, those people that can help companies setting up and using our product.
Actually, yeah. Are you planning? Because I don't know whether maybe there might be a use case or maybe not. Do you planning on having ever a developer advocate? Or
Um, so far, so absolutely, I will have.
mm,
I will need to have one at some point. Okay. So far, it's a role that I am fulfilling. So, and I am up until our messaging and sales model is not completely fully cleared. It's very hard to transfer this role to somebody else.
so you're absorbing this role now. You're doing that, but it would be good to reach a point where you can delegate that,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that would probably would free quite a lot of your time, I would imagine.
Yeah, but it's also important. So,
Yeah, no, it is. It is key. What So what's the difference? What do you think is the difference between having a developer advocate and then a customer engineer? So the customer engineer clearly is the one working with the client.
yes, developer advocate typically present their work to the public. Okay. Customer or social engineer, whatever, help works after the sale is made and helps the companies adopt the tools. So one works before it happens, one works after it happens. Okay. Well, one is essentially a function of marketing or pre-sales.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other one is it's the follow-up. So
one helps to hopefully to close the deal or to find the deal or
yeah,
to that kind of stuff, and then when the deal is done and dusted, customer engineers comes in and actually helps the
yes. So
client.
so let me talk a little bit about what we sell.
Yep, please do.
So what Platformatic is about, we have an open source toolkit that you can use to take any Node.js application you have, okay, and supercharge it and add a lot of non-functional requirements that your company needs anyway, okay, and that are hard to build up, especially for developers not that with not a great experience of Node. Then we have a commercial product that use that toolkit, okay, to deploy and manage Node.js applications at scale. This product is called the Intelligent Command Center. It's a tool that does all those things. It provides it runs on top of Kubernetes today, but we can also run it on top of bare metal if you want to. It allows us to auto-scale Node.js processes, coordinate them. It handles caching automatically, so you don't need to have complex caching setups.
Pretty good.
Both we do both HTTP caching, but also the ISR caching of Next. So we do those things. Okay, it comes out of the box, so you have to do nothing to get all of these things done. Just need to use the caching primitives of HTTP or Next.js. And we sell this as a licensed software. So you buy the license, you use it essentially, and it runs on your on-prem or on your AWS account on top of your own paid hardware, essentially. So we don't have the model of you pay us, and then you pay us, and then we run your code. Okay, our model is we run it on your you run it yourself on your systems.
Yeah, infrastructure pretty much. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So they keep owning it.
Yeah,
is a way to also. I think the company find this. I think is a very clever. Approach, right? Because sometimes people can find that okay, now this other company owns our code, which you've done the opposite, right? You keep owning it. We just helping you.
I don't want to buy compute from AWS and resell it at 100% markup or 1,000% markup. Okay, I don't want to be in that business, frankly. Mostly because you can't really have that kind of markup. So what it ends up being is either you're offering a crappy service at the lowest tiers, or you are essentially subsidizing the lowest tiers with the highest paying ones. So I'm more saying, nope, this is complete transparency. I'm not subsidizing anything. Everything is the same. You pay your AWS bill, and you pay for my software. Okay.
That's it. Yeah, I should treat it like a facilitator, pretty much. Something.
Pretty much, yes. I am not. We are in that kind of setup right now. Now, I don't know if in the future we'll do it. Okay, we tried at the beginning, but we found very quickly out that the math did not add up. Like offering top grade compute solution it's very costly, especially for the type of for something that can work very well at low scale and high scale.
Gotcha. Okay, so you find maybe this for the time being, this is the best business model that works.
Yep.
Pretty much for you. There ever been a challenging client? And for challenging client, I mean an actual challenge. So maybe one of the integration that was harder than others, so some technical challenge that you did not expect.
No,
everything went smooth. Nice.
No, there's no hard challenge on that side. The hardest challenges were on, time. It was against time. So missing features that were needed for a client. And the harder part is the features. Now the features were very hard, but they were not for the client; they were for the product. So generic color product helps very much in running Node.js. So and it more or less handles the problem that they have on their system on their system by itself. So that's not a problem usually.
Interesting. So time, because they might want a specific feature that you don't have, but they want it by
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yes.
And how do you tackle that? Do you negotiate a little bit in terms of
Just a
time?
second.
Yeah,
Open
no
the
problem.
window a little bit because the air is starting to get stale. Okay. Well, no, I don't. We just code.
Okay. So
We
the
code
easy
fast.
path, just code.
We
Just
code.
make that happen.
Make it happen. Yes.
So that's now I start to really understand when you were talking about the impossible tasks.
Yes, of course. Like it's my generic style of management of, working for me means that you get to work in things that are challenging and more challenging every week,
With less and less time.
or in less, or same challenge, same hardness, or less and less time.
Yeah. So one of the two is going against you.
Yep.
Interesting. That's very fascinating, especially for someone like me. I've never been an entrepreneur, so I'm always quite curious when I find people there, because I think at the end of the day it's a big step, right? So you've been working for companies and stuff, but now you have your own thing. So you should also, as you said, find sales, because if you don't have sales, you can't have money, you can pay your people. So it's a little bit the responsibility really skyrocket, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's fascinating. What about public speaking though? Because I know that you speak to a lot of conferences. When did you start? Do you remember?
Long time ago. My first conference talk, I think, was at a Code Motion in Rome.
Mm.
2011 or 2012, something like that. Maybe even earlier.
Wow. So it's like more than 15 years.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 15 years. Yeah, I've traveled a lot of to a lot of conference events.
Which one was, if you, and I know this is a little bit of a shitty question, but if you have to pick one, there was that one conference that you said, wow, I don't know, that's something else.
So the first NodeConf EU in 2013 was that for me. Not much because of the impact it had in my careers. Like,
Okay.
I'm still in touch with all the people that were at that event, essentially. Love it. The most impressive one, I don't know. A lot, to be honest. I don't know. Don't know what to pick. I remember there was. I can talk about the one that I remember fondly. Okay.
Yeah.
So there was NodeConf in 2013. Then I don't remember the year. I did a closing keynote at CodeMotion, which was fantastic. Okay. Loved it. I did a lot. I said a lot of very, very, wise things at that in that keynote. It was pretty amazing. Then I remember that very fondly. I'm thinking, okay, probably if I want to think that I was in awe of a conference, okay,
Mhm.
I've never been able to speak at JSConf EU, and that is one of the biggest stain of my career. Okay, I was never able to, and I really wanted to.
Any reason why you were not have, just because the time were clashing, or I don't know?
They didn't never pick my talk.
Interesting. So you were submitting the CFP, but
Yeah.
never heard back. Okay, that's
No, always heard back,
no,
but
no,
they were
always
not.
no, never back. I mean, sorry, never got officially picked. Interesting.
I always got an official um, rejection, but yeah. So um, yeah, I would say that's probably the 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 biggest one. Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I saw that. I think the last time that actually saw you on stage was probably last year at CTJS in London.
Yes.
I clearly remember your talk about the Node versions and any reason why you should not be on the latest version
Yeah.
of
Oh,
Node.
look.
Yeah, but
This is a good topic.
it's a good topic, and in many companies this is not the case, as you know
No,
very,
never.
very
It's never the case.
well.
Like I
It's
was
never the case.
lately in a debate online about the fact that I bumped the minimum engine in a very popular library to the very latest of the V20 release, and people were
Mhm.
complaining. And they were complaining, oh, you should support, a very old version of the 20 and 1 year old version of the 20. Sorry. Why?
Why?
Why? Why are you asking me? Like, makes no sense. Why are you running this? Okay. You should not be running this. So, given that you should not be running this, why should I support it? If I support it, I'm making you a disservice. So I'm not supporting it.
But why do you think that happened? People are lazy. People, maybe there is a pushback from,
There are two
leadership.
problems. Okay. There are two problems. The first one is companies, or big companies at least, are really, some companies are really slow in changing. Okay.
Mhm.
And some of them even can't. Okay. Like if you work in highly regulated scenario, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't change the version of that library. Okay. You're stuck with that. Okay. However, if you are in those said groups, okay, you should find a vendor. Okay. You should pay money to
Mhm.
get the support and stability that you need. You should not be complaining to us, maintainers, to get the support that you need for free. Vampires. Okay. Garlic and wood sticks.
Wood sticks.
Look, you push them away. Okay.
Push them.
All of those that want work done for free, sorry, that's not how these work. They are open governance by volunteers. So if you want work done, you either do the work yourself, or you find somebody and pay somebody to get the work done on your behalf. There are a lot of companies that are available for doing so. Okay. So you don't need to. Okay. So you can literally pay somebody to do that. Okay. You can, we do this kind of work for our customers in Platformatic. We There are other companies that do this for their customers. Okay. There is HeroDevs, there is Nearform, there is
Mm.
NodeSource, there is Red Hat. There is a company called Igalia. Okay.
I don't know.
So I'm listing all of them. Okay, all the one that I know, but there are probably more. Okay, because there's a lot of companies investing effort in Node.js. So, but again, Node.js does not have a budget, so does not, as I said, not necessarily true. Node.js has a tiny budget. If you ask how many full-time employees or full-time equivalents you have in Node, okay, one. There is one person that is paid full-time to work on Node.
Man, wow.
The only reason why we got the money to pay for this person salary, okay, he's actually a contractor, but it doesn't matter. Okay, the money to pay for this person, okay, it's because it's security, and security is obscurity. Okay, you can't. It's silent work. You can't ask volunteers to do silent work. It's a very big turnoff for volunteers because you get absolutely zero recognition, public recognition for all the amazing security work that you do. If you do a lot of very good security work, nobody hears from you, essentially.
Yeah. The better job that you do, the more invisible that you are.
The better job that you do, the more invisible that you are. So if you don't do a good job, you are very known. So,
very known, and that's not a good sign.
It's not a good. So again, this is the reason why we were able to get some funds, okay? And those funds helped, frankly. In my presentation last year, I showed some of the stats from security, okay, which I think was very useful to show to people. And I think, I liked it. I like that kind of take.
Yeah, also pretty much one of the main reasons why people should be on the latest version as possible is that, because the latest version as possible is more secure, pretty much.
Yes, well, yes, of course. Like we do not patch releases. Okay, this is a fundamental problem. So,
and that, I really like this model, because by company like yours, you pretty much what you do, you take the overhead, right, of maintaining things, so then that the people in those companies, they can focus their effort in actually build the whatever product that is. So you pretty much take ownership and take charge on removing this overhead, so these other people can focus on building and maintaining their product. So yeah, it's pretty good model, actually. But I also agree with you that I would imagine that quite a few companies or people, or small companies or even big companies, they want to have that for free, which is not amazing. Let's put it that way. But why? So why do you generally? Why do you think that is? Besides because free is always better than pay money. Okay, but they do that because they think that being open source, they are expecting that. What's the deal there? It's like that one, or there are other reasons that you might have heard throughout your career?
I don't know, to be honest. Okay, I'm a little bit, tired probably from a long day.
Yeah. Okay, no worries. We are
Like,
pretty much towards the end, so no worries. You very
sorry
soon.
about this.
No, absolutely no
My
problem.
mind is starting to get groggy. I opened the window. I thought it will help, but I'm like, you see this thing about CO2 level in the room?
Yeah. Okay. So it really raised the bar. No worries. In a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Can you repeat the question? I might try to get to rethink.
Yeah. No, I was just generally, I was curious why some of these companies, they want, or they would like to have all these maintaining services for free, instead of, as you said, just pay a company to maintain your Node version and whatnot.
The company. So the companies use the services, use the products for free. Okay, and then they expect work to be done. Work to be done for them for free, which is not
exactly. But what, like, why? I'm genuinely wonder why, because
Vampires.
vampire, because they say, okay, I'm
Hey,
using this thing which is free, and then I'm expecting people to
yes,
keep working.
yes, yes, yes.
That just sucks, right? Just doesn't
A
make
lot of
sense.
very big companies do that all the time, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
You
no, no,
know,
no, fair enough.
if you think of the next big companies, all the next big companies have been sorry, next big companies, not the right term, is probably too much Italian. All the latest big
Yeah.
tech companies that you can find that have grown in the last few years, a lot of them are built on open source, and almost none of them are giving back enough. Okay. Not saying not all of them are giving back nothing, because it's not true. Okay. Most of them are not giving back enough. Okay. This is the big point. Okay. So
compared to what they've taken from, or
yes,
what
compared
they've,
to what they take,
leveraged.
it's not enough. No.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay, that's very interesting. Last question, and then I leave you to your very deserved rest. Just really quick one from me. What do you think, or have you ever dealt with the so-called FAANG company, the Google, the Meta, the Amazon, the... Have you
Sorry,
ever
related to open source?
related to open source,
Okay, so they have a very
commercially?
fun. They have a very very fun um, uh, way of setting things up. Okay,
Hmm.
especially attitude toward open source. Okay, specifically, in all those big companies, to get promoted to the next level, okay, you need to essentially assemble what they call a promo pack. You probably have heard this term a lot.
Yeah. There is
Now,
the
what you need to put in a promo pack is evidence of your accomplishment that brought up the company. Okay,
impactful work. Like
impactful work. Okay, now, is contributing back to open source impactful work for the company?
Interesting.
In some cases, yes. Most cases, no. Okay. Is it work that needs to be done? Yes, 100%. Okay. Is this impactful work? Not really in a lot of cases. Okay. It's not the stuff that will get you promoted. Okay. Let me put it this way: assembling 20 something node releases a year is not, it's a lot of work. Okay. But it's not, it's very important. You need to be very careful and very precise to assemble them. Okay. But most big companies won't get you promoted. Okay.
Yeah,
Because it's not, you know.
Yeah, it's not generate a revenue for the company. You might get
Yes.
promoted if you if you increment by 1% the I don't know, revenue, thanks to
You
that.
have seen exactly the point of, and this is where these big companies fall. The model fall apart for big companies,
So
because then developers, even though they want to do open source, they're not incentivized in any form or fashion.
100%.
And this is where a lot of people burn out and stop even. Okay, why do we have to do all of this? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tricky, model, right? So there is the, let's say, metrics that they use are only the metrics that are, at their, favor, or they, yeah, is interesting, but they, at the same time, they leverage all these open source things, but the metrics that they use in order to promote people, they have nothing to do with the open source things, and they want just to have more, revenue. So yes, it's very interesting. Yeah, very interesting, cycle. But
Yeah.
hopefully one day it will get better.
Yeah. Finger
Finger
crossed.
crossed. Nice one, Matteo. We are at 1 hour mark. I really, really appreciate your time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, and I hope to see you soon at the next conference.
See you. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.